good Tuesday evening. I hope you had a good Tuesday. This is weather for Weather Geeks. Depending on when you were out and about today, you might have thought, well, it's a pretty nice day, or you might have thought, well, it's kind of a cruddy day. If you were inside all morning but then stepped out in the afternoon, the sun was shining, and it may have looked a lot different than it did earlier in the day. But if you were out and about this morning, it was not a very good-looking morning. Clouds were kind of tough to break. We had a temperature inversion overhead, and that allowed for the low-level moisture to kind of be trapped for a while until that inversion lifted and the atmosphere became a little more well mixed this afternoon. This kind of a loop from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. shows how quickly things did change as we got into the second half of the day today. Most of the weather action is well off to our north and west this evening. High wind warnings are out for parts of Montana and the Dakotas, parts of Wyoming as well. Very strong winds, even in some of the higher terrain, over 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts over the last 24 hours. No, not surprisingly, this is kind of where our biggest temperature gradient is. Warmer air is trying to lift up through the middle of the country. Cooler Canadian air is plummeting southward, and that clash of the air masses will happen around here by about daybreak on Thursday. Time-lapse video from back here at home in Boardman this evening. Last 20 minutes of daylight. We had those wispy cirrus clouds left over late this afternoon and early this evening. Made for a nice sunset. Be sure and check out a really cool sunset picture from Mosquito Lake up in the Cortland area, sent to us by Elliot. Check out that picture on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Big temperature difference across Ohio this evening. We're at 38 as of 7:26 in Youngstown, but 46 in Columbus and 50 in Cincinnati. Warm front is lifting to the north and east. And as that warm front lifts to the north and east, clouds are going to return overnight. Temperatures will keep rising overnight. And I can't rule out a little drizzle or a shower or two as tomorrow gets underway. I think our model's a little overdone with the amount of green it's showing here tomorrow morning. I don't think it's much more than a sprinkle or a shower. I think it's going to be a pretty cloudy morning overall. The breeze will kick up in the afternoon, and you might see some sun tomorrow afternoon, especially the farther south you are. Wouldn't be surprised if the sky brightened in areas especially south of Youngstown tomorrow afternoon, helping those temperatures get even warmer. But it's just kind of a one-hit wonder, this warmer day coming up tomorrow. Cold front will be rolling through right at sunrise Thursday morning. Showers will push in. Most of the rain actually will be post-frontal passage. And as the rain falls, temperatures are going to drop, and it's going to just be kind of a gnarly end of the morning on Thursday with a cold rain falling, a gusty breeze, and that'll pave the way to probably a mostly dry second half of the day, followed by some snow flurries here and there as lake effect briefly kicks in late Thursday night into Friday. Check out the temperature roller coaster all the way through about daybreak on Thursday. Temperatures in the mid-30s now, ending up in the mid-40s by daybreak tomorrow, and then middle 60s tomorrow afternoon. In a place like East Liverpool and maybe as far north as Lisbon, East Palestine, Salem, if we get enough sun, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 67 or 68 in some communities by the end of the afternoon. It stays warm then most of tomorrow night, well up into the 50s, but then in an hour or two just before daybreak, it'll start falling, and that temperature will keep falling throughout the morning. So we'll go from 57 at 4 a.m. to probably about 40 at 11 a.m. Thursday morning. Now, late Thursday night, or should I say early Friday morning, we're hoping for enough of a clear sky to get a view of this lunar eclipse. I posted about this last evening in case you missed it. We have a pretty good lunar eclipse coming our way Friday morning, almost a total eclipse. The moon will be 99% covered by the Earth's shadow. Now, unfortunately, it's not coming at a great time of the day. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning is not exactly a time of the day that a lot of people want to get up and check something like this out. But if you're a night owl or a real early morning riser, and it looks like the clouds are going to cooperate, then this will be worth checking out. The partial eclipse begins at 2:18 a.m. Maximum eclipse, when almost the entire moon will be covered by the Earth's shadow, 4:03 a.m., and then the eclipse comes to an end at 5:47. Right now, our forecast is for a partly cloudy sky. I think it'll be clearer the farther south you are, the farther north you are, closer to some lake effect trying to kick up, the smaller chance you might have of seeing this. But we'll be fine-tuning that cloud forecast, of course, as we get a little bit closer to Friday morning. All right, the weather pattern turns pretty interesting by next week as we roll towards Thanksgiving. Pretty chilly weekend coming up, but as we go into early next week, watch what happens here. Cut-off low-pressure system starts forming around the Great Lakes, and this will embed itself in parts of the mid-Atlantic states just in time for a lot of holiday travelers to try to hit the roads or the airports early next week. So the details still need to be worked out, and I doubt we have real big winter weather impacts around here. But to our east, that could be a different story depending on the exact configuration of this upper low. Pretty favorable looking pattern, though. We've got a blocking pattern up across the northern Atlantic that will keep this thing from just escaping out to sea real quickly. Fresh Arctic air coming in from the north, and in parts of New England and the mid-Atlantic states, we might have a pre-Thanksgiving winter weather episode to contend with, unfortunately, for a lot of holiday travelers. But it could also ingest a little too much dry air and not really be much of a big deal. Something we'll be keeping an eye on, and again, here locally, odds do not favor real big impacts from that system early next week. We have high confidence, though, that this is a cold-looking weather pattern for the tail end of November and the start of December. Today's 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, no surprise, lots of blue east of the Mississippi. The 62 or 64 we're going to have on Thursday. The last mild day looks like we're going to have for some time. This, as our winter forecasts strongly hinted at, looks like it's a pretty fast start to winter this year, late November, early December. Our confidence in how December evolves beyond the first week or 10 days, it goes down in a hurry. We might run the table in December, it just is cold from start to finish, or we might have a cold start and it gets a little more back and forth after that. We'll have a better idea, I think, in about a week or so as we get more data in. Models should hopefully come into somewhat better agreement. Thanks for watching the Tuesday evening weather for Weather Geeks. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you right back here on Wednesday.